Hi, I'm Bill Brusman at Coon Rapids High School here. Today we're going to take a look at the three-headed shaper, which we have set up for doing the rail and panel style doors. Today we're going to take a close look at doing the ends of the rails as well as the styles end rails edges. The setup of the machine is critical. Okay? I have two test blocks here. And what we want to take a look at is that the pieces are supposed to fit nice and tight with a nice smooth joint right here. Okay? In order to do that, the two bits have to be matched. Now I have a set of bits here for the router, which will fit in those or some of these other tables that we have. But here we have the three different bits that are basically in the machine, larger version in the machine here, but same style. Okay? So you have the rail and style bits as these two smaller ones in the panel with a back cutter in the center here, so you can see the size. These two are matched to each other. And that gives us that nice, tight joint on the cope that perfectly matches. Alright? Now, we have a cope sled here, which allows us to clamp the pieces in, and if we're perfectly adjusted to height, now this is my test block, so I can use my test block here to verify the height. If I need to, I can adjust it. We've got it set up here, so I can basically put in the actual piece that I need to cut. Now this is for a smaller door, 7¼ inches long. You'll notice that I have an X on it. What I have done is I have put an X on every one of my surfaces of the face. And when we're using the machine here, we need to put the face down for all of our cutting. Okay? So I will put my face down, I lock it in. Now, as I'm going through, the purpose of the cope sled is to keep us from tipping into the bit with the short distance that we have. Because I've got the sled sliding along the fence, it's acting as a much longer piece as I go through. So I will slide it through following the fence with the sled. Once I get through the piece, I can go ahead and pull it out. Alright? You want to start with your ends first, then we go into the edges over on this one. Alright? Now, first thing that I need to do is I need to put my fingerboards, which also serve as guards, over the top here. This also helps ensure that I'm down against the table. You can go ahead, turn it on, let it come up to speed, okay? Let it feed through. It's going to feed through. I'm through. Now when I flip it, I go end for end. I don't flip it top like this, right? Make sure you're up against the fence when you set it. Alright. As soon as we're done, shut it down. Alright. We'll wait for it to come to a stop. Alright. We're over here at the second bit here for doing the edges of the rail and style. As you can see, this bit, we have a ball bearing on the top surface here, which will ride along the edge right here that's left as we're doing the cut, preventing us from taking too deep of a cut. We have checked the setup and ensured that taking a straight edge, we're hitting the fence, bearing fence across so that we've got the fence set at the right depth. Okay, all three are at the same depth. On this one, what I want to check for the height is that this cutter, which will cut these slots right here, is at the same height as the finger even across. Alright? The proper height of the setup, that example here, let me grab the test block here, is that we're along this edge right here, I'm putting about a 16th of a ridge, about a 16th of an inch ridge right there, right? Getting the full contour, which is what we have set up here. So once we're ready, we'll go ahead and put our fingerboard in. Alright? Now the problem that I have here is this is a shorter piece, so I'm going to need to use a push block to feed through. Alright? I can push it all the way through. As you can see, we've hit the bit with the push block, which is perfectly fine. It's what the block is designed to be able to do. The block here will also help prevent some chipping on the back side. But as I feed it through, I also need to keep it in against the fence, right? And I really don't want to have my hands right in front here, so I can certainly use another push stick here. The push stick will allow me to keep it pushed in as I feed it through. Tight against, my fingerboard is helping to hold it down to the table. So I've got all three sides supported up against the fence and down against the table. Alright? So, once we're ready here, we can go ahead and turn it on. We'll go ahead and turn it on. Let it come up to speed. Okay? I can get myself set. Again, I want to make sure that face is down. Alright? I can push it through and I get a nice cut. We'll also do our style here. I can do the same thing. I'm going to use my hand to start out on this one. You notice how I started out using my hand and then I switched my hand to this side and pulled it through the rest of the way. I can also use push block as well. Alright, and go through the same way that I did with the rail. So you can certainly do that. Okay? But if you notice, when I did it with my hands, I bridged the area and pulled from the other side, which I can also do. Alright? So once we've cut the rail and stiles here, you might have just a very, very paper thin surface here, okay? If that's the case, and take care of that. We'll go ahead and dry fit all the pieces together, okay? And when I dry fit it, you should have a pretty nice tight joint right here, right? And you will go ahead, dry fit the entire door together, and what you're looking for, if you had the height of the bits at the same height, should be smooth across this joint. All of your materials should be of the same thickness. Ready? This is the piece that we just cut. If you remember, I said, make sure you are putting an X on your face, and we have to put it face down all the way through. Here I have a couple pieces that have been miscut. This one here, you'll notice that there's no X on it. This student cut one end. When he cut the other end, flipped it this way instead of spinning it, and we have one going one direction, one going the other. Not useful. Means that we created waste. This one here, the ends were cut going the correct direction. but when we came to the edge here, it had gotten flipped, all right? And so if we're looking at side by side here, okay, here I have my face down. This is exactly how it should look. And you'll notice that we have the contour up on the surface on this one. This one got flipped halfway through the project, all right? Same thing happened on this piece. So we've got 3 pieces here that end up being not usable, have to be remade. That's the importance of putting this X on it.